Hi guys, welcome back to the 7 days of yoga, where each day we'll be moving to a flow that embodies the spirit of the day. We've worked through the bulk of the week, so time to slow down and soak up what Thursday brings. Thursday is a day we often feel a surge of positivity as we begin to wrap up the working week. It's a great day to focus on the details and tie up any loose ends. Thursday is a lovely day to slow down and turn your attention towards gratitude. So let's send some of that gratitude towards your body and move gently so to soak up all of its goodness. Enjoy. So let's begin kneeling down at the back of the mat. You can place your hands on your thighs or maybe one hand on top of the other. Close your eyes and start to come into your breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sigh out through the mouth. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. Final deep breath in where you are. And a final big breath out where you are. And as you're kneeling down here, start to blink open the eyes if you've not done so already. I want you to interlace your fingers behind you and press the knuckles into the small of the back. Bend the elbows and squeeze the shoulders and the elbows back behind you as a way to lift the chest. And then as you exhale, slide your fist down the glutes, towards the feet, towards the floor. Find that nice stretch across the chest, down the arms. And as you exhale, release the hands and slide your hands forward. We're going to come into Anahatasana, which is a heart opening stretch. Slide your hands about as wide as the mat forward. Spread your fingers wide. Keep your hips above your knees. Tuck the toes and start to direct your chest towards the ground. Now you can either press the forehead towards the ground or the chin. Depends on how you want to keep your neck in this position. Think about the armpits sinking a little bit further towards the ground, but then there's also a resistance towards the floor as well. So we don't want to just let the ribs flare forward. Breathe into the back of the body. And then breathe out. Feel the ground beneath the palms. I'm going to go really slow with this little Vinyasa flow today. Spread your fingers wide. And you almost want to feel like you're cementing your hands into the ground and getting pulled back by the hips so there's more length in the underarms and down the sides of your body. Create some space in the ribs. As you exhale, look forward and start to slide forward onto your belly. Point the toes. And you're going to take your hands about as wide as the mat, come up onto your fingertips. And we're going to take some wide cobras. Press the backs of your feet and your thighs into the floor. And as you press down your fingertips, you're going to inhale, lift the belly, the ribs, the shoulders, the chest, the gaze off the ground. And then exhale, bend the elbows and ripple forward once again. Twice more. Press down through the fingertips. Inhale, lift the upper body, squeeze the bum, activate through the legs and all the way down to the toes. You're trying to lift out of the hips in a way, so we don't want to jam down into the lower back. Exhale, bend the elbows and lead forward from the front of your heart as you ripple down. One more time. Inhale, ripple all the way up. Hold it right at the top here and maybe even gently look over one shoulder and then look over the other. One more breath at the top here. Exhale, bend the elbows wide and ripple forward and down. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, and bring yourself up into downward facing dog. After doing those big cobras, we can often feel something in our backs when we come into downward facing dog. So bend the knees, gently move into it. Claw your fingers into the ground and push the floor away. Inhale, simply ripple forward, as far forward into high plank that you can. And then exhale, bend the knees, ripple it back into downward facing dog. And again, inhale, ripple forward, get your chest over the hands and the wrists, articulate the spine. Exhale, ripple back, downward facing dog. Relax the head through the arms. When we're in this downward facing dog, we're going to take a little bit of a twisted or revolved dog. So your heels will be just off the floor for the moment. Bend the knees and try and push the floor even firmer away with the hands. So you'll tilt the tailbone a little bit higher up towards the sky. Drop your chin. You're going to keep your left hand where it is, and you're going to slide your right hand across to your left ankle. Now you're going to try and grab hold of the outer edge of the left ankle and shin, claw your left fingertips into the floor, and maybe when you're here, the heels want to push a little bit further towards the floor. And then when you're in this position, holding onto the outer edge of the ankle, look underneath your left armpit. And think about separating the space between the shoulder blades a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale, reach the right hand forward. Switch it to the other side. Claw the right fingertips into the floor firmly. Slide your left hand underneath you to the outside edge of your right ankle. Grab hold of it. Try and squeeze the heel bones a little bit further towards the floor, and then gaze underneath your right armpit. Push the floor away. Big breath in. Exhale through the mouth. One more breath in where you are. And then exhale, reach the left hand forward. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky, point the right toes, bend the right knee, open up the hips. And you can start to circle the right leg a few times, working your way around the hip socket. And then step the right foot through between your hands. It might take a couple of steps to get there, that's okay, go nice and slowly. And start to shift forward and back, maybe round in a little circle here. Press down both of your big toes and slowly start to rise all the way up into high lunge. Reach the arms up over the head. Exhale, bend your elbows like a cactus and create a slight back bend here. Inhale, reach the hands up towards the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift up via the chest bone. Inhale, final time, reach the hands up towards the sky and bring your palms together and take your hands in this prayer position in front of your chest. I want you to start to soften the back knee a little bit more so that we can actually shift the weight forward into the front leg a little bit more. So you might need to tap the back foot up the mat a couple of times, or you might be happy just to shoot straight forward into Warrior 3. So with the little taps forward, you might want to decrease the length between the legs until you can take the weight onto your front leg, point the back toes and tip the torso forward. You can keep the standing knee bent. In fact, I really like to keep the standing knee bent in Warrior 3 as it makes your muscles do more work than the joint. Keep the hands where they are, or if you find it easier to hold your balance by keeping the hands somewhere else, then you can go for that. But I want the back toes to be really active. So whether you opt for a pointed foot or a flexed foot, it's completely up to you. Take one more breath in here where you are. Exhale through the mouth. So this is a nice day for coming into your breath. So not keeping anything locked inside, being a little bit more expressive. And as we're quite close to the floor, if you have bent the knee, you're going to bring your right fingertips towards the ground. Now flex the left foot, turn the left toes out and start to stack open the hips. From there, maybe the standing leg will start to straighten out a little bit and peel the left arm up towards the sky. If keeping the left arm up towards the sky is really horrible for the balance, then you can always have your left hand come onto your hip. We're in a half moon here. Energy through to the fingertips, energy through to the toes. As you exhale, bring your left hand back to the floor and slowly lower the left foot long down the mat. Plant the hands to the ground and then re-lift the right leg up into three-legged dog where you were right at the beginning of this little flow. Point the toes, bend the knee, open up the hips. You're then going to bring your right shin forward towards the back of the wrists and lower the shin down and come into pigeon. Slide your left leg long down the mat, then point the left toes, rise up onto your fingertips. Take your hands about as wide as the mat and slightly further forward. You want to press down through the front shin and keep the right foot active if you can. Now inhale again, lift up via the chest. And then exhale, bend the elbows, and we're almost mimicking that big cobra that we did right at the beginning. And again, press down through the fingertips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, ripple forward, bend the elbows wide. One more time. Inhale, ripple all the way up. Exhale, ripple down. Now come more up into a neutral position. You're going to reach the left fingertips forward towards the top of the mat. Keep the legs as they are with the right shin forward and the left toes pointed. And then reach the right hand forward in front of you. Start to curve the right arm over the head and add in a little twist towards the right side of the room. Point the left foot, the back foot, engage the left butt cheek. Option to keep the right arm where it is as you focus just on the rotation of your ribs. Or if you want to take a bind, bend the right arm and wrap the arm around the back of you. Perhaps you can grab the right foot and the toes here. If you are holding the toes, try and squeeze the right shoulder back 1 more inch and look over the right shoulder towards the back foot. 1 more breath in. Exhale wherever you are. You're going to release this bind. Everybody walk your hands back up towards your right shin. Spread your fingers wide and push the floor away. Tuck the left toes and slide the right leg back into downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Nice slow vinyasa. You're going to inhale, ripple forward into high plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the floor, hug the elbows in towards the ribs, drop down onto your belly. Point the toes, inhale, lift the chest up, cobra. Exhale, sit your bum back to your heels, child's pose. Drop your bum down, forehead down, spread your fingers wide. Big breath into the back of the body. Big sigh out through the mouth. Straight away from here, ripple forward again into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Relax the head through the arms and straight away lift your left leg up towards the sky. Point the toes, bend the knee and open up the hips. You can draw little circles with your left leg. Working around the hip socket. And then on the next exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest and step the foot through between your hands. Rise up onto your fingertips, start to rock forward and back, add a little bit of movement into the hips. Press down through the big toe mounds of both of your feet for stabilization and bring the arms up over the head into high lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, rise back up, reach the arms over the head. Exhale, bend the elbows. 1 more time. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms together. And bring the hands in front of your chest, in front of your heart. So soften the back knee as well as you start to shift the weight forward into your front leg. So you might want to bring that back foot up a couple of inches first, or perhaps you feel happy to shift the weight straight forward. Lift the back leg off the floor, point the toes or flex the foot, up to you as long as it's active. Warrior 3. And I want you to feel like you're getting pulled out through the crown of the head and out through the back toes as well. Now you're probably quite close to the floor if you've kept the knee bent, the standing knee. If that's you, left fingertips might be able to touch the ground. I want everyone from this point to flex the right foot, turn the right toes out and open. So you start to stack open the hips. Then you can either have your right hand on your right hip or reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Perhaps the standing leg starts to straighten. And the more that you flex the back foot, and imagine you're almost kicking the foot into a wall behind you, the stronger that lift will be. You can lift up by the ankle and engage this right butt cheek a little bit more. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. Exhale, take the right hand to the ground. Slowly lower the right foot long down the mat. Plant the hands to the floor. And inhale, lift your left leg back up into 3-legged dog. Bring your left shin forward towards the back of the wrists. Lower it down into pigeon. Slide your right leg long down the mat. Point the toes. Again, rise up onto your fingertips and take your hands out about as wide as the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows, ripple forward. Inhale, press down through the fingertips and ripple up. Lead from the back of the heart. Exhale, ripple down. One more time. Inhale, ripple all the way up. Exhale, ripple all the way down. Come back up into a neutral spine and reach the right fingertips forward out to the top of the mat. Press down through the left shin, so there's still activation here. So what I want you to do is to collapse into the floor. You're trying to pretty much lift yourself away from the ground. Reach the left fingertips forward, curve the left arm over the head and start to twist towards the left leg. Point the back toes. You can stay here in this twist, or take the bind, bend the left elbow, wrap the arm around the back of you, and perhaps you can grab the toes. If this is you, squeeze the left shoulder back 1 more inch and look over the left shoulder. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly release this little bind. If that's you, everybody walk your hands back up to center. Plant the hands flat to the floor, tuck the right toes, step the left leg back into downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Inhale, ripple forward into high plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the floor, hug the elbows in, chaturanga, belly to the ground. Inhale, lift up into cobra. Exhale, sit back into child's pose, bum to your heels. We're going to come forward into downward facing dog one more time. This is just a segue for us to either step or hop down onto our bums. So you gently drop it down onto your sit bones. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Flex the feet. Find the sit bones on the floor. We'll go for a little forward fold. So to begin with, everyone bend the knees, flex the feet and squeeze the legs together. Spread the toes out as wide as you can and reach the arms up over the head. Breathe in. Keep the knees bent as you hinge the torso forward at first, and you'll either bring your hands around the toes, the whole foot, maybe the ankles or the shins. And whatever you're grabbing hold of, ultimately you're trying to also push back through the back of the head and lengthen up through the spine. Now you might need to keep your knees bent, and this is really hitting the spot for you for a forward fold because it's keeping the spine integrated in the whole thing. Or if you're happy to kick the heels forward and aim for straighter legs, then go for it. As long as you keep everything sort of working together, you don't suddenly rock back and then compress the spine this way. Think length, think space. So once you find that forward fold, maybe you're always working towards it. There's a little bit of movement perhaps constantly there. We're going to stay here for about 3 breaths. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, perhaps sink into that space that you may have found. And again, inhale. Spread the toes out wide, keep the feet active. Exhale. Belly towards the thighs. One more time. Inhale. Exhale over. Slowly, slowly start to ripple all the way back up. And then roll all the way down onto your back for a little happy baby to finish off here. Bring your knees up towards the armpits. Take your feet, slide the soles of the feet up towards the sky. You can grab hold of either the insides of the heels or the outsides of your feet, up to you, and start to rock gently from side to side. And as you lie on your back here, think about the back of the head, the shoulders, the ribs, the base of the spine touching the ground. And you can close the eyes. Drop into the breath. Breathe down into your belly. And drink in this sweet, gentle, slow movement and carry it with you for the rest of the day. Cross the ankles. Start to rock up and down the length of your spine until you end up in a little seat in the middle of the mat. Doesn't matter what it looks like. You can rest the hands on your thighs like you did right at the beginning. Close the eyes just to settle yourself here for a final big breath in together. And a final big breath out together to close. Shoulders away from the ears, a softness in the head and the face. Notice where the breath is in your body. Thank you for joining today, day 4, ready to take on Thursday. Hope you're enjoying the 7 days of yoga. Catch up with me tomorrow, day 5. Have a lovely rest of your week. Take care.